The next one in our series is Marvelous. Because what's cooler than being cool?
Marvelous.
That's what it is. And it's by Sofaygo. Never heard Sofaygo really, but I do know a little bit. I believe Sofaygo signed to Cactus Jack.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken, I could
Okay.
be wrong. Somebody correct me in the chat if that's not the case. But so I'm expecting something
I'm
like that.
curious
you know?
now too. Although to be fair, the artists on Cactus Jack have a variety of sounds. Not that there's too many of them, including Sofaygo. I guess they would make it. We're not going to count Luxury Tax 50. Just be like Travis Scott. Then you got Don Tolliver
Right.
and then Sheck West.
Right.
I guess the closest two would be Travis and Don.
Yeah, and shout out Don Tolliver, who's actually
She
on the
on
WizKid
this
song.
yeah.
And
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
the one cool thing about that I enjoy of Afrobeat is when there are American features on it, you can kind of tell who kind of doesn't, maybe you don't really belong on these kind of features. And there's some like Don Tolliver who I felt like, oh man,
It blended so perfectly.
Right,
I think
right.
it was just seamless. I mean, going back to WizKid's special, yeah, I think Don Tolliver contributed so much, and yeah, I think it made the track.
Haku also said Smoke Perp was formerly on Cactus Jack.
Oh, really?
So he was for a moment.
Which one was Smoke Perp?
Smoke Perp,
Oh, was he like a Lil Pump? No,
he was like in that South Florida
Oh, he
SoundCloud
was.
scene,
Okay.
because it was Trippie Redd. I think Smoke Perp was also kind of in that Lil Pump
Okay.
X.
Gotcha. That scene.
Sofaygo, don't know where he's from or anything. Might do a little recon as this plays, but here we go. Sofaygo, Marvelous off his new album Pink Hearts.
Hey, Woods like that show. What the fuck we call this? Hey, it's how I'm doing something marvelous. Hey, it's how I'm doing something marvelous.
That was Sofaygo, Marvelous. What'd you think?
Sounded like a beat Travis Scott passed on. His flow just seemed uninspired. I don't know. I'm guessing he has much better tracks than this, and I would be interested in checking those out. But this one wasn't it. He just seemed like Travis Scott light throughout the track, man. Especially, yeah. I don't think, yeah. I was gonna add that I don't think he's on the same caliber level as some other artists on the label, but nonetheless, this just might not be the track, and I should probably hear something different from him. What'd you think?
It was okay. It was I could find circumstances I would maybe play it, in the background of certain things.
Why
but
not just play Travis Scott?
Right. No, and like that's kind of what it comes down to is it was like a younger Travis Scott. It was like if Travis Scott kind of made a Travis Scott style by being Travis Scott, this is one of the people who are the next wave of Travis Scotts.
So you got that vibe too. It wasn't just me with that Cactus Jack signing in back of my mind that kind of forced it. You kind of got the vibes that
I felt like if it was purely like rapping and delivery, I kind of just think it reminds me. I mean,
he relied too much on it just being a vibey song, right?
Right. Which I think is kind of that South Florida SoundCloud. He's from Atlanta. Well, he's from Michigan and then moved to Atlanta when he was younger. But I think that it kind of still falls in that line of, it could be a Trippie Redd song. It could be I'm not really, I'm loosely comparing it, but it could be like a Baby Keem song. Like it can be like that kind of rapping where it's not, I couldn't tell you any lyric that he had that was like important. I couldn't, the vibe was cool. He wrote the beat and sometimes nowadays it feels like that's enough, unfortunately.
I get, yeah.
At least to, for him to be signed to Cactus Jack or to be important. Like, I'm sure there's Sofaygo fans, and I'm sure they like him because the songs are a vibe.